Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
All right, we are ready to get started with our weight training class this morning. We are going to be doing primarily standing. Of course, having a chair for support is always a good thing, so feel free to have one nearby. All you'll need is some medium and light weights today. And you can, of course, always do it with just one set of weights. If that's what you've got, you could do it with a soup can. It doesn't matter to me. We're going to start with swinging our arms side to side, moving through our bodies a little bit, warming everything up. Maybe adding a little turn, lifting the heel, only if that feels good for you. And then one more to each side and bringing it into the center, moving into our big side bend. And then bringing it back into center, moving into our forward reaches. And then, of course, bringing it in. Our hip circles in one direction. And in the other direction. Bringing the feet together, bopping the knees forward and back. Maybe, if it would feel good to you, adding a little circle in one direction. Or you can skip that. If you are doing that circle, though, go the other way. And then settling out the ankles, adding that little circle of the wrist. And then wiggle those fingers and toes. Perfect. All right. Anything else that might need to loosen up, go ahead and give it a little shimmy shake, and then we are going to get started. We are going to start with a relatively heavy weight, whatever that means to you. One held nice and high in the center. We're going to do an overhead press into a knee drive. Alternating sides, just like that. 1 minute on the clock. And here we go. Pressing it up, pulling everything in the center. Nice control. How fast you go here is totally up to you. You can slow it way down. You can move it a little faster. Yeah, pumping a little bit. Either way, you're halfway done. Beautiful. I like to kind of meet it in the middle. I push up a little slow and then really pull down nice and strong. And breathe, of course. And time. All right, from here I'm gonna go a little lighter. Up to you. We're gonna do a halo chop. So you guys have done this one with me before. We're gonna start at the hip, come up and around and down to the other side, and then go back around the other way. 1 minute. Here we go. Keeping the belly pulled in nice and tight. Trying to bring that weight down around behind the neck, so we're really working the triceps here, as well as the shoulders. And of course, breathing the whole time. The most important thing you can do all day. 20 seconds to go here. Beautiful. And time. All right, from here, we're gonna do a rear leg raise and curl. You might wanna have something handy to put a hand on. We're gonna take one weight and bring it up to the shoulder. And we're gonna do raise and curl. Tap to toe, raise and curl. I'll tell you when to switch to the other side. Here we go. Raise, curl, tap to toe. Beautiful. And we're saying it as a raise and then a curl, so that we're focusing on squeezing the glute and then the hamstring. So we're really working down the whole back of that leg. Switching sides in 3, 2, 1, and switch. Raise and curl. Beautiful. Now, if you want to add the balance work, you can try not holding on to something, but that's totally up to you and where you are today. Fine. All right, from here, we're gonna go into a static lunge. So we're gonna find whatever lunge we can hold for 1 minute. And then we're gonna row it out on that same side. Of course, we're gonna do both sides, so just so you know what's coming. 1 minute, here we go. Static lunge, little bend forward, and rowing it out. Check in with your legs here. Would it feel good to deepen the lunge? Or do you need to make it a little more shallow? What's going to feel right for you today to give you a good workout with no pain? You're over halfway there already. Ten seconds to go. Keep breathing. And time. All right. Wiggle it out. And then we're going to go to the other side. Again, find the lunge you can hold for 1 minute. It's going to give you a good challenge, but not too much. And away we go. You can, of course, put one hand on that chair or table or wall, whatever you've got nearby. Or you can have it on your hip or resting on your thigh, whatever works for you. So we want to make sure we're nice and steady. Twenty seconds to go. Fine. All right, for the last one we're gonna do in this set, you might want a little bit lighter weights, you might not, that's totally up to you. we're going to do a W curl. We're going to curl it up, bring it out, and then back in before we lower it down. I'm going to do 1 minute. Here we go. Curl, externally rotate. We're using our fancy fitness words. And then right back in. Belly pulled in nice and tight. Stretching up through the crown of the head. And breathing. Halfway done already. How far out are you externally rotating is going to depend totally on your shoulders and what track they like to follow. We want to avoid any clicking or pushing. Certainly we want to avoid any pain. So however far you can go with none of that. And time. Beautiful. That is actually the end of our first set. Go grab some water. We still have 2 sets to go. All right, bringing it back in. Getting ready for that overhead press with the march. 1 minute on the clock. Let's do it. Of course, if you want to do a chair modified, you can do exactly the same thing. Pressing it up overhead and then raising the knee to meet it as it comes down. Up to you. What variation is going to fit the best for your body today? And you can do that same chair modified version, slow or fast, just like you can the standing version. "15 seconds to go. And time. Beautiful. All right, getting ready for the halo with the chop. 1 minute. Let's do it. Hip up and around the neck and down to the other hip. Letting your belly turn. So you're working your abdominal muscles. Back muscles too. Really a fair bit of the core there. Beautiful. And of course, no breathing. And I didn't demonstrate it, but of course you can do this one seated as well. It is absolutely every bit as effective, whether you're sitting or standing. Time. All right, getting ready for the rear leg raise and curl. This one's actually fun to do in a chair because you gotta like really work at it. So you work a lot of good muscle. 1 minute. Here we go. So you lift and then curl. But when you're in the chair, your lift is more like pushing your heel back towards the wall behind you. So it's a totally different feeling to the movement while still working the same muscles. Switching sides in 3, 2, 1, and switch. Perfect. squeezing the glute and then the hamstring. And of course, the standing leg's doing a lot of work there too. Time. All right, getting ready for that static lunge with the row. Finding a lunge you can hold for 1 minute. Here we go. Also a super easy one to do in a chair. Basically, you just drop one side of your tush onto the chair, and you're doing a chair lunge with a row. So, as always, choose your own adventure. It's a little chilly this morning, so I'm doing a lot of standing ones because it's helping me keep my body warmer. Twenty seconds to go. Check in with that lunge. Is it feeling good? Is it feeling like you could do a little more? Is it feeling like you need a little less? Make whatever adjustments are right. And time. All right. Shake it out a little. And then set up on the other side. 1 minute. Here we go. Making sure you put the other foot in front. Some of us get a little mixed up when we turn around. But that's okay. We can always correct. Over halfway there already. Slow and steady. Keep breathing. Time. All right, finishing it off with that W curl. One minute. Here we go. Of course, the chair version of this one, super simple. It's literally exactly the same, except that you're sitting instead of standing. Check in with the belly. Make sure everything's firmed up nice and tight. Reach up through the crown of the head. And keep breathing. 15 seconds to go. And time. Beautiful. All right, grab another sip of water. We still have 1 set to do. All right, bringing it back in. Choosing what type of overhead press and march is right for you. Adjusting the weights up or down as needed. And here we go. I actually really love the ab workout on the seated version of this. So I'm going to do my last set from the chair and really focus on that ab squeeze. Halfway done. Looking good. 10 seconds to go. And time. All right, getting ready for that halo chop. Here we go. Keeping that little twist so we're working all those core muscles. Dipping down behind the head. So we're working those triceps. And that circular motion around the head helps to work some of the chest muscles as well. Those little ones right there, we all get that little bit of pudge there. This actually helps work that a little bit too, which is one of the reasons I love it. It's such a good all-around exercise. 10 seconds to go. And time. All right, setting up for the rear leg raise with that hamstring curl. 30 seconds on each side. Here we go. We haven't really talked too much about the weight. I'm stacking it on my shoulder just to keep my upper body a little more active. But you don't need to. This is mostly lower body exercise. So you could just leave that weight all the way off if you wanted to and focus on the hamstring and the glute here. It's really up to you. Switching sides in 2, 1, and switch. Beautiful. Keep breathing. And time. All right. Up next, we have the lunge with the row. Grab the weight that's right for you. And here we go. Finding that lunge you can hold the whole minute. And then rowing it out. I know a lot of times we think the chair version is the easier version, and in some ways it is. But if what you're working on here is range of motion, the chair lunge can be really great for helping you increase your range of motion while also building strength. It's a lot easier to open up through the hips when it's supported. And we know strength is important, but range of motion is also really important. Time. Take it out, get set up for the other side. And here we go. Beautiful. Halfway done. Rowing it out, strengthening the arm and the shoulder and the back. Using the lunge to strengthen the lower body. Keeping the belly pulled in tight. Keeping the core engaged. Almost there. Time. All right. Last one. We have that W curl. I'm going to finish off with my lightest weight so I can focus on that external rotation. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Nice and steady. Not in a rush. Halfway done already. Beautiful. 5 more seconds. Be mindful of the track of our shoulders. And time. Excellent job. Go ahead and put those weights to the side. Grab a little more water. All we have left is our final stretch. All right, bringing it in. Taking a nice deep breath, bringing the arms up overhead, folding forward, reaching down towards the floor. Pausing just for a second here, then rolling up. And then inhaling the arms up again. This time doing a little dip to one side. And then back through center and over to the other side. And then back through center and folding towards the floor again. Pausing here just for a moment this time. Softening and relaxing through the belly. While we're lifting things, we spend a lot of time tightening the belly. But we don't want to stay in that tightened condition all the time. That's actually also bad for us. We gotta have some of both. So take a moment to just consciously let go of all the tension. And let your belly be nice and soft. And then with a big bend in the knees coming up, slow and steady. This time roll your shoulders down and back 3 times. And then taking one arm and bringing it across the body. Pulling that shoulder down away from the chin. And then turning to look over that shoulder. Maybe holding still, maybe adding a little nod up and down. And if you're doing that nod, bring it to stillness, come back to center, and release. Bringing it over to the other side. Looking over that shoulder. And then only if it feels good, adding a little nod. And then releasing, coming back to center. From here, bringing one foot forward, leaning back to stretch through the back of the leg. Taking one more moment here. And then coming up and pushing the back hip forward, stretching through the front hip pocket. And then recentering, but before we switch to the other side, stepping out wide and doing a little side lunge stretch through the inside of that leg. One more breath. And then back to center. Put the other foot in front. And we got to do it all on this side. Stretching through the back of the leg. And then planting the toes and coming up. Stretching through the front of the opposite hip. And then stepping out a little wider, stretching through the inside of that leg. And then release and come back up to center. And thank you so much for coming out to play today. I really enjoyed our workout today. I hope you did too.